Hello, I'm Dr. Melissa Ozdal. I convene the International Trade Law module. International trade is a fascinating subject. In essence, it deals with the international sale of goods for commercial purposes. International sales involve a complicated network of contracts, namely contracts of sale, carriage, insurance, and finance. This explains why in international sale contracts we don't only see provisions on the specifications of the goods sold, the transfer of risk and property, and the parties' remedies, but we also see provisions on the transport and insurance of the goods. Very often, these contracts also provide that the payment for such goods is to be made through a letter of credit, and that the seller is to provide the buyer with a performance bond. To prepare you for the realities of international trade disputes, in this course you will see that how these transactions relate to each other, how these transactions operate in a wider commercial context. During the course, you will discuss and see the legal problems arising in cases where the rights and obligations of the buyer and seller under a sale contract are not consistent with the terms of other interlinked contracts. So the aim of this course is to give you a thorough knowledge and understanding of the English law of international trade. The main sources of this law are the English Sale of Goods Act 1971 and case law. The rights and obligations of the buyer and seller are in most cases drawn from the construction of the sale contract. And for this reason, this area of law also requires the study of a wide range of soft law instruments, such as the Incoterms and also standard form sale contracts. The course concentrates on all facets of CIF and FOB sales. So we're going to start from contract formation through to remedies. And in section A, you will study mainly CIF and FOB contracts, looking at the buyer's and seller's obligations in cases of such sales. Now, section B, you will look at the important carriage rules that are relevant to international trade. In international sales, it's either the seller's or the buyer's obligation to arrange transportation of the cargo. And in order for the sellers or buyers to act in accordance with the requirements in the sale contract, it is really important that they have a very good understanding of the carriage principles. So in this section, in section B, you will be looking at the Hague-Visby rules in order to understand how the risks of sea carriage are allocated between cargo interests, which could be a buyer or a seller, and a carrier in cases where the goods are lost or damaged in transit. This section will also give you an understanding of how the bills of lading operate in international trade. The important functions of bills of lading you will also be looking at in this section. So you'll be looking at the receipt functions of bills of lading, the document of title functions of bills of lading, and you will be also looking at the contract of carriage function of bills of lading in section B. In section C, you will study documentary credits and bank guarantees. Documentary credits are now considered to be the lifeblood of international trade because in most cases, sellers require their buyers to open a letter of credit for payment. Because of the importance of letters of credit in international trade, in this section you will be looking at letters of credits from various perspectives. First of all, you will consider the banker's obligations and rights under letters of credit, and particularly you will study in what cases bankers must honor a credit and make a payment in cases where a seller tenders documents under a letter of credit. In order to have a better understanding of the letter of credit system, you will be particularly studying an important soft law instrument, which is UCP 600. UCP 600 provides a set of rules for bankers when they need to decide whether they need to make a payment under a letter of credit. So section C you will study not just cases, but you will also be studying an important soft law instrument, which is UCP 600. In Section D, you will study United Nations Convention on International Sale of Goods 1980, which is commonly referred to as the Vienna Convention. After studying the scope of application of the Vienna Convention, you will also study the rights and obligations of the buyers and sellers under the Vienna Convention. And when studying the rights and obligations of the buyers, you will also look at particularly the remedies that are afforded to parties, i.e. the buyers and sellers, in the context of Vienna Convention. The international trade law module is of great practical importance for two main reasons. First, this module urges students to develop a commercial awareness to understand the way in which international traders operate in practice. Secondly, international sale contracts are entered into between companies operating in different parts of the world. For predictability and certainty, many, if not most traders around the world choose English law to govern their contracts. So you'll find this course extremely useful when you step into practice and start to practice as a commodities lawyer. I hope you have found this introduction useful. Thank you.